Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sports Star. Today, we're doing a much overdue World Cup recap. First off, I want to apologize for taking so long to get this out. Just being a bit, with the holidays being a bit hectic, and I was also a little under the weather right after the World Cup, so that's why I didn't get it out as quickly as I would have liked it. Better late than never. So here we are. Hopefully, you enjoy this. So the first thing I'm going to do, let's have a quick look at the mess that was my predictions. So obviously, USA, Netherlands nailed that pick. Argentina, I had them going all the way to third place. My first big mess up, Japan beating Croatia. Nah. Then Brazil beating South Korea. Was a pretty easy one. Senegal, England was another pretty easy one. Poland, France. This was one of the first big upsets of the match, of the tournament. Morocco beating Spain. Don't really think I have to explain more about that. And then Portugal beating Switzerland. I nailed that. Then, in the second round, I think I picked one correct match here. Two correct matches. I picked Argentina to win, which got right somehow. In spite of Argentina's best attempts. Brazil beating Japan, not the correct opponent, nor did Brazil win, so nothing good there. Then England beating France. Complain about the rest all you want, English fans. You lost. Harry Kane rocketed it over the bar. And then Portugal beating Spain again. Portugal neither won nor did they have the right opponent, so yeah. Then Argentina Brazil. Obviously Argentina won that game against Croatia though. That match wasn't as good as some of the other ones in it, but still. Yeah. And then France beating Portugal. Obviously, France beating Morocco, but still correct team to win it. Then correct second place predictions, but obviously Argentina won it. And then third place match, that's just a mess. Okay, so now let's get into the actual one. This is what you came for. So, obviously, first match of the tournament of the group stages, Netherlands USA. I think the term beatdown applies for this game. Netherlands were in control basically the entire time. Let's start off with the Netherlands. Good effort, great tournament from the Netherlands. Gonna go into their knockout, their eventual elimination in a minute, but this USA team, if it stays like it is now, is never gonna do anything. This is gonna be its perpetual results. It's gonna be round of 16, maybe sneaking into the round of 8 every once in a while, but not much past that. But hey, 2026 is going to be in the U.S. Hopefully get a couple matches there. So yeah, let's see. Hopefully, I think we're all hoping for this, that the U.S. ends up doing better. But as it stands right now, I don't see it happening. Up next, we got Argentina, Australia. So this was the first match obviously the first match of Argentina's World Cup winning run. This should have honestly been a non-threat for them. Australia just isn't all that great, but this was kind of foreshadowing a bit. Argentina struggling with just letting teams back into it. Obviously, you had they go by 2 early with Messi in the 35th and Alvarez in the 57th, but then an own goal made it a way tighter game than it ever should have been. I mean, they didn't hold leads their entire tournament, which I think was their biggest. And obviously it ended up not costing them, obviously. But it could have turned out far worse than it did for Argentina. I think very easily. Unless you got Japan, Croatia, one of the first matches to go in, if I'm not mistaken, the first match to go into penalties of the tournament. Japan were absolutely horrendous in penalties. But then also, Croatia was a good squad this year. It was a tight game. Not obviously not a ton of scoring. This was honestly a really good game straight off the bat. Then Brazil, South Korea. Brazil annihilated them. Brazil annihilated them 4-1. It wasn't particularly close either. Similar story with Senegal, England, 3-0. Just not that exciting games. I mean, straight up. And then Poland, France obviously destroyed Poland. Then an early upset. Morocco taking down the team that took 1,000 penalties and still couldn't score any. And I think this was one of the quintessential Morocco games of, they didn't score many goals. I think they ended up scoring 5 goals this tournament, maybe 6. But they only conceded 1 goal this entire until the third place. Until their game against France, where they lost 2-0, obviously. They had only conceded 1 goal. By the end of the tournament, they conceded 5 because Croatia and France. But they were one of the best defensive squads in the tournament. That's what they were. They didn't score much on offense, but they were damn good on defense. Now, next we got the annihilation of Switzerland, 6-1 to Portugal, with Jorge, I forgot his first name, Ramos scoring 3 goals in his first start, starting over Ronaldo, in probably one of the, not unexpected, but one of the bigger surprises of the tournament. Ronaldo getting benched. And in his place, coming on a guy who put up a hat trick in his first ever, I believe his first ever international appearance, certainly his first ever World Cup appearance. And honestly, that's the end of Ronaldo's international career. This is the end of Ronaldo's international career. Obviously, we'll get into his knockout in the next round, but I don't think this is the way. Obviously, it's not the way Ronaldo wanted to go out, but I was surprised by it. I was not expecting him to ever get benched. I was expecting him to lose this World Cup and then kind of disappear off, not to get benched and all that. But anyways, on to the next round. Up next, we got probably easily my top 3 match in the tournament. I'd say only one better might have been the championship, but I don't see. I mean, obviously the championship wins, but I mean, this is a damn good game. Netherlands, Argentina. Argentina takes a quick, or not a quick 2 lead, but they take a 2-0 lead in the 73rd minute. So 17 minutes left plus added time, and they're through to the finals. Then they bring on the big man. I apologize for blundering his name. Weghorst scoring a goal in the 83rd minute. Then in the 12th minute of added time. Then in added time, in the finals periods, the final 2 15-minute periods. Everybody hold their breath. Most yellow cards in a World Cup match, but only 1 yellow, and including probably a bit more than a bit of a mess, where ball goes dead and guy just rockets it and an Argentina player rockets it into the Netherlands sideline. But that's a whole different mess for a whole different time. Then he goes to penalties, and penalties, obviously Argentina comes out on top. But honestly, this was a fun match to watch. I was rooting for Argentina, obviously, all the way through the World Cup, and I mean, it's fun to watch. That's what I like to see. It's what I like to see. Honestly, one of the better matches of the tournament. Up next, we got another penalties match: Croatia versus Brazil. Obviously, Brazil was the massive favorites going into the World Cup. And everyone was expecting them, go through. I expected them to win. As you can see by my predictions, I expected them to win the championship. I expected them to win it all, but they didn't. Out on penalties. Bit of a surprise to see, but Croatia, they put up a good fight. In the scoreless until the 105th, until the added time of the first added extra time period. Scoreless for for the majority of the second period of added time, extra time, until Petrovic puts it through the net in the 117th minute. Absolutely insane. Then, hold out to penalties. Croatia puts it 4 in the back of the net. Brazil only manages 2. Including one going just outside the bar, or just outside the post, to send Croatia to the round of 4. Then on the other side of the bracket, we had France-England. So if I haven't made it clear already, I was rooting for France to destroy England in this game. Now, I'm not going to get too far into it, but Harry Kane rockets one over. Harry Kane gets 2 shots of penalties, nails one, and tapped into his rugby side for the second. Yeah. France is good. I don't think I need to say much more than that. Then Morocco-Portugal, never upset from Morocco, playing basically the same game. You know, you don't have to score a lot if you don't let the other team score. And in the end, they didn't let the other team score. Then, into the semifinals. We got Argentina-Croatia. This was a demolition for Argentina. Three goals in the back of the net. One from Messi off a penalty, and then the other 2 from Messi's young accompaniment up front. Alvarez. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I have to say much here. It was just absolute demolition. And then a similar sight over on the other side with France beating Morocco by 2-0. Yeah. Not much I have to say there. Honestly, the semifinals weren't all that great to watch. They were, 5 goals scored by 2 teams. But, Sep, one of the best finals I've ever seen. Or I should probably the best final I've ever seen. Because, I didn't watch it 2012. Or 2012? Didn't pay much attention to 26. Oh, math's wonky. I watched it 2018, which was a good one. Wasn't really paying much attention to 2014. And didn't pay much attention to 2010. Yeah. Then, in the third place playoff, Croatia-Morocco. Croatia ends up on top in the 42nd minute with the winning goal in the 42nd minute. But yeah, they held on well. And honestly, Morocco was probably the story of the tournament. In my opinion, at least. I don't think there was... I think they might have been the most impressive team at this tournament. And obviously, France had the golden boot. Argentina had the player of the match and the goalie of the match and the young player of the tournament. Morocco was the biggest. Because I challenge you, nameless... Actually, I'm not going to say that because I can't do it myself, but I'd be willing to bet you going into the World Cup, the vast majority of people could not name a player on the Morocco squad. Yeah, I feel like I honestly think Morocco was had the best showing of the tournament. To place 4th, as honestly, I'd be surprised if they were even expected to make it to knockouts. I certainly didn't pick them. But yeah, props to them. But Croatia obviously gets the 3rd spot. Then, the finals. So, Messi in the 23rd minute opens up the scoring with a penalty. Di Maria in the 36th puts him up 2-0. You've seen this story before, though. Mbappe, 80th minute, gets a penalty, nails it. 81st minute, gets another goal. Not even 120 seconds apart. Not even 90 seconds apart. And now all of a sudden the game's equalized. Then, in added time, or in extra time, Messi gets a goal, 108th minute. Then, similar to the way Croatia beats Brazil, Mbappe gets a goal in the 118th minute to send it to penalties. And in penalties, the spotlight's all on the goalie. 4-2. Game. Argentina wins it. Messi finally gets his World Cup. And despite Mbappe's incredible performance and his Golden Boot winning achievement, France goes home with a 2nd place medal. What a game. Honestly, I have a lot of friends who aren't all that into soccer but started paying attention for the World Cup. They were astonished by this match. Because, it was an amazing match. Honestly, it was one of the better matches. I'd say it was the best match of the World Cup. And obviously, Messi gets the MVP of the tournament. Their goalie, who I'm blanking on the name of, gets goalie of the tournament. And Fernandez gets young player of the tournament. So, good job, Argentina. Y'all are champions. Yeah. And then obviously I don't know how many of y'all have seen the stories of the parades, but Buenos Aires is going hard right now. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope y'all had as much fun watching this World Cup as I did, because when it comes around once every 4 years, gotta make it worth it. See ya.